The West versus radical Islam. It's one of the main topics on the table at all times. We've got to address it. I'm Tal, the traveling clot, your favorite white colonizer. Let's take a look.
I'm not going to sit here and play a politically correct game just to make people feel good about themselves when I see my country and freedom and liberty all across the world at stake. But I will tell you, you got to study, you got to understand, and then you will be able to articulate this. It's not about Muslims, but it is about a very, very violent aspect that has become rooted and has turned what started out to be a peaceful religion into a totalitarian, theocratic political ideology.
Alan West, back with another one.
Do you think the main problem with jihadists is the religion or Islamism? Like, do you think it's more of a problem of Islam in general or Islamism, meaning that they seek an Islamic state?
Well, it is. It's all captured there in the Quran and the Hadith, which are the traditions of Muhammad. Have you ever read the Muslim Brotherhood's explanatory memorandum, their strategic memorandum? This is a document that was written just right across the Potomac in 1991 by a guy by the name of Muhammad Akram. It was discovered in an FBI raid in 2004 in the basement of a home. And it's open source intel. And I want you to read that. That's another homework assignment. Read the strategic memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States of America, and they lay out their plan. And when you listen to a person like President Erdogan of Turkey, who once said there is no moderate Islam and other Islam, it's just Islam. So I just kind of have to tell you, you just got to take your opposition for their own word. And I don't have the time to do it, but if you go back and study from 610 through 628 AD on to 632, you will see exactly all of those different phases of Islam, the peaceful phase, which was just 12 years, then the Medina phase, which was 622 to 628, when you can see the corresponding verses of the Quran become more violent. And then, of course, when Muhammad came back to Mecca, and he took it, and 3,000.
So is the religion or the
It's rooted in there. It is rooted in there. Those verses. And I also want to tell you, understand the Arabic term nakish. Nakish translated means abrogation, and what that means through Islamic jurisprudence is that the later versions of the Quran supersede the previous versions of the Quran, but they're still all the words of Allah. And so we have to understand this, and we have to just say, look, this is not a perversion. This is part of what is in the book that you call the Quran. And so that you have people that are standing up and they are using the Quran to enact these different types of violence. Now, I've been to Iraq, I've been to Afghanistan, I've been all over the Middle East. I have helped some of my former interpreters and translators come to the United States of America because they wanted a better way of life. But I'm not going to sit here and play a politically correct game just to make people feel good about themselves when I see my country and freedom and liberty all across the world at stake. But I will tell you, you got to study, you got to understand, and then you will be able to articulate this. It's not about Muslims, but it is about a very, very violent aspect that has become rooted and has turned what started out to be a peaceful religion into a totalitarian, theocratic political ideology.
I mean, listen, he conveys it in a way where I try to convey it all the time. I think I even get shit for it from my audience, from other people online. They're like, you're always talking shit about Islam. You're always talking shit about Muslims. It's like, that's not it. You don't understand. You have to make the separation between all Muslims and who I'm talking about. We're talking about Islamism. We're talking about jihadism. We're talking about the Muslims who, unfortunately, there are hundreds of millions of them that are willing to take violent action upon themselves to rid society of the infidel, of the kuffar. It's a problem. You have to address that it's a problem. You have to acknowledge that it's a problem. If we don't do, then who are we kidding? We're kidding ourselves. And why would you kid yourself? What? For what? For points? For points with who? With somebody who already wants to kill you? With somebody who doesn't see you as an equal? Tell me, what's the point of it all? Alan West conveys that perfectly. It's not about being bigoted against all Muslims. It's about calling out what needs to be called out. We see that our societies are at risk. We need to call it out. See you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Klotz. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.